High above us, airplanes soar, leaving white trails against the blue sky. These trails, often lingering long after the aircraft has vanished, are a familiar sight. We've come to accept them as a natural consequence of modern air travel. Yet for some, these simple trails represent something far more sinister. They argue these are not mere contrails, but chemtrails, deliberate releases of chemicals into the atmosphere. This is the heart of the chemtrail conspiracy theory, a belief spreading through online forums and radio shows. It's a theory that incites fear and suspicion, suggesting powerful forces are manipulating our environment. But is there any truth to these claims? To understand, we must delve into the science behind those white lines, separating fact from fiction. As we look up at those trails, it's important to approach the subject with a critical eye. The sky, once a symbol of freedom, has become a battleground for truth. Our journey to uncover the truth behind the chemtrail conspiracy begins with a single question. What are we really seeing when we look up at the sky? The chemtrail conspiracy theory didn't appear out of thin air. Like all conspiracy theories, it has its origins, a point in time when whispers of doubt began to circulate. To understand its hold on the public imagination, we must trace its roots. The seeds of the chemtrail conspiracy were sown in the late 20th century, marked by growing distrust in government institutions. The Vietnam War and scandals like the Tuskegee syphilis study eroded public trust in authorities. Against this backdrop, rumors began to circulate about unusual aircraft activity and strange, lingering contrails. These early observations, often fueled by misinterpretations, were amplified by talk radio hosts and early internet forums. One name in particular became synonymous with the chemtrail conspiracy: Richard Finke. A radio host with a penchant for conspiracy theories, Finke popularized the term chemtrails in the mid-1990s. He claimed that the US government was secretly spraying the population with unknown substances. Finke's claims resonated with a segment of the population already primed to believe in government conspiracies. His message spread through the airwaves and early online platforms, taking root and growing into a movement. While Finke is considered the godfather of the chemtrail conspiracy, its evolution is far from a solo act. It has been shaped by countless individuals, each adding their own interpretations and purported evidence. This has created a complex and ever-evolving narrative. The chemtrail conspiracy continues to thrive, fueled by a mix of historical events, personal anxieties, and the power of modern communication. The rise of the Internet profoundly impacted the spread of information. Initially hailed as a tool for democratizing knowledge, the Internet quickly revealed a darker side. For the chemtrail conspiracy theory, the Internet was a potent catalyst, propelling it into mainstream consciousness. Online forums became virtual town squares for conspiracy theorists. Geographically dispersed individuals could now connect and collaborate, forming online communities. Websites dedicated to chemtrails meticulously documented alleged sightings and offered elaborate explanations. The Internet's ability to disseminate information rapidly meant the chemtrail theory could no longer be easily dismissed. It gained traction, spreading like wildfire through online communities and social media platforms. The echo chamber effect, exacerbated by algorithms, further solidified the chemtrail narrative. Exposure to dissenting voices was minimized, while confirmatory evidence was amplified. The Internet's impact on the chemtrail conspiracy wasn't limited to providing a platform for its dissemination. It also changed the nature of the theory itself. The chemtrail narrative could now be presented in a multimedia format, making it more accessible and compelling. This shift made the chemtrail conspiracy more believable to a wider audience. The Internet's interconnected nature contributed to the creation of echo chambers. Search engines inadvertently reinforced existing biases. Someone searching for information about chemtrails was more likely to encounter sympathetic websites. Social media platforms further amplified the reach and impact of the chemtrail conspiracy. Posts, images, and videos alleging chemtrail spraying could be shared with a single click. The viral nature of social media meant even the most outlandish claims could gain traction. The ease with which misinformation could spread online was compounded by the decline of traditional gatekeepers. The Internet's democratization of information meant anyone could reach a mass audience. This shift created a fertile breeding ground for conspiracy theories like the chemtrail narrative. Without the checks and balances provided by credible sources, individuals were left to navigate a digital world awash in competing claims. The chemtrail conspiracy thrived in this environment. Its proponents leveraged the power of the Internet to spread their message and recruit new believers. Section 3. The allure of the unknown, filling the gaps with speculation. Human beings are inherently curious creatures, drawn to the mysterious and the unknown. Conspiracy theories tap into this fundamental aspect of our nature. The chemtrail conspiracy plays upon our innate fears about the environment and our health. The lack of definitive answers creates a vacuum filled with speculation and fear-mongering. Without a clear understanding of the science behind atmospheric phenomena, individuals are more susceptible to accepting alternative explanations. The unknown becomes a blank canvas upon which anxieties are projected. Some proponents claim the spraying is part of a government program to control the weather. Others believe chemtrails are used to spread harmful chemicals or biological agents. Still others posit that the spraying is part of a larger agenda to control the population. The variety of these explanations highlights the speculative nature of the chemtrail conspiracy. It thrives on the unknown, feeding off our fears and anxieties. In the absence of clear answers, the human mind constructs its own narratives. Section 4. The human element, fear, mistrust, and the need for control. The enduring appeal of the chemtrail conspiracy can be attributed to psychological factors. Fear, mistrust, and the need for control are powerful motivators. The world can often feel unpredictable and overwhelming. Conspiracy theories offer a seductive illusion of control. By attributing agency to powerful forces, individuals regain a sense of control over their lives. The chemtrail conspiracy taps into fears about the loss of autonomy and the potential for abuse of power. It provides a scapegoat for anxieties about pollution and climate change. By believing in the chemtrail conspiracy, individuals can externalize their fears. The chemtrail conspiracy feeds on and reinforces existing mistrust in authority figures. Declining trust in government, media, and scientific experts has created fertile ground for conspiracy theories. When individuals lose faith in traditional sources of information, they turn to alternative sources. This erosion of trust creates a vicious cycle, making it difficult to engage in meaningful dialogue. Section 1. Science takes flight, understanding contrails and their formation. To dissect the chemtrail conspiracy, we must ground ourselves in the science of contrails. These white streaks are a naturally occurring phenomenon explained by physics and atmospheric science. The mechanisms behind contrail formation are well documented and observable. Contrails, short for condensation trails, are clouds formed when hot, humid exhaust from aircraft engines mixes with cold, thin air. As aircraft engines burn fuel, they produce gases, including carbon dioxide, water vapor, and aerosols. These aerosols act as condensation nuclei, providing surfaces for water vapor to condense. At high altitudes, the water vapor rapidly cools and condenses into ice crystals. These ice crystals, reflecting sunlight, are what we perceive as contrails. The persistence of a contrail depends on atmospheric conditions. In humid air, contrails can persist for extended periods, forming cirrus clouds. In dry air, contrails may evaporate quickly. This variability in contrail persistence is consistent with our understanding of atmospheric dynamics. It's a testament to the dynamic nature of our atmosphere. To grasp the mechanics of contrail formation, consider the role of altitude and humidity. As an aircraft ascends, it encounters progressively thinner, colder air. This decrease in temperature with altitude is known as the lapse rate. At cruising altitudes, temperatures can plummet to -40 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. Humidity, a measure of water vapor in the air, is equally critical. Air has a saturation point, beyond which it cannot hold additional water vapor. This saturation point is related to temperature. Colder air has a lower saturation point. As hot, humid exhaust from aircraft engines mixes with frigid air, it rapidly cools. The water vapor reaches its saturation point and condenses into ice crystals. The altitude at which contrails form and their persistence are influenced by atmospheric conditions. On a humid day, contrails can form at lower altitudes and persist longer. On a dry day, contrails may only form at higher altitudes and dissipate quickly. This interplay between altitude, temperature, and humidity explains the variability in contrail appearance. Despite scientific explanations, the chemtrail conspiracy persists due to misconceptions and distrust of official explanations. Chemtrail proponents argue contrails should dissipate quickly like car exhaust. This ignores altitude and atmospheric conditions. High altitudes allow contrails to persist longer. Ice crystals in contrails can remain for hours. Crisscrossing patterns are due to air traffic control. Aircraft follow established flight paths. Winds cause contrails to spread and overlap. Intricate patterns are natural, not deliberate. Unusual colors are due to sunlight scattering. Falling substances are often pollen or dust. Iridescence explains colorful contrails. Atmospheric particles settle from contrails. Not all unusual sky trails are simply contrails. Several atmospheric phenomena might be misconstrued as evidence of chemical spraying. Full streak holes are gaps in altocumulus clouds caused by aircraft. Wingtip vortices are swirling patterns from aircraft wings. Military aircraft may release flares or chaff, creating bright streaks. Understanding these phenomena helps separate fact from conspiracy. The chemtrail conspiracy, while seemingly harmless, carries real-world consequences that extend far beyond internet forums. At its heart lies a profound mistrust of authority, eroding trust in institutions and straining relationships. This mistrust, fueled by misinformation, can manifest in harmful ways. One of the most concerning aspects is its potential to distract from real environmental threats. The time spent debating chemtrails could be better directed towards addressing genuine environmental challenges. Misinformation thrives where critical thinking is lacking and emotional appeals trump evidence. Repeated exposure to false claims increases their perceived truthfulness. Social media amplifies this effect, making it hard to discern fact from fiction. The internet, while beneficial, is a breeding ground for misinformation. Algorithms create echo chambers, reinforcing biases and limiting alternative viewpoints. The human brain is wired to seek patterns and make sense of the world around us. This innate desire for order can lead us astray, perceiving patterns where none exist. Known as tauophenia, This drives belief in conspiracy theories, like the chemtrail conspiracy. Conspiracy theories offer a sense of order in a chaotic world. They provide a framework for understanding random events, offering a sense of control. Section 4, Addressing Public Concerns, a call for transparency and dialogue. Addressing the chemtrail conspiracy requires transparency, open dialogue, and understanding public distrust. Scientific institutions, government agencies, and the media must foster a more informed public. Clear communication and respectful dialogue are crucial for building trust and combating misinformation. Section 1, Seeking Expert Opinions. Voices from Science and Aviation. Experts in aviation and atmospheric science provide crucial insights into contrail formation, debunking chemtrail myths. Pilots and scientists explain the science behind contrails, emphasizing their routine nature. Their expertise dispels misconceptions, highlighting the normalcy of these atmospheric phenomena. Section 2, A Pilot's Perspective, Demystifying the Realities of Flight. Captain Emily Carter, a veteran pilot, addresses chemtrail concerns with patience and facts. Contrails are natural, formed by hot exhaust mixing with cold air, creating ice crystals. Their persistence depends on atmospheric conditions. Pilots can't control contrails. They follow established flight paths for safety. The patterns are due to airways and natural air movement. Section 3. Atmospheric scientists speak contrails, weather modification, and geoengineering. Dr. Sarah Chen studies cloud physics and climate modeling, debunking chemtrail myths with scientific evidence. She explains that aircraft cannot disperse chemicals that remain suspended due to atmospheric dynamics. Geoengineering involves releasing substances into the stratosphere to reflect sunlight. These proposals are controversial and researched with international collaboration. Section 4. Bridging the Gap, Fostering Understanding and Critical Engagement. Addressing the chemtrail conspiracy and its enduring appeal requires more than simply presenting scientific evidence and debunking myths. It demands a concerted effort to bridge the gap between scientific understanding and public perception, fostering a climate of trust, transparency, and critical engagement with information. One crucial step is to improve scientific literacy among the general public. This involves making scientific concepts more accessible and engaging, using clear and concise language, and providing opportunities for hands-on learning and exploration. Science museums, educational outreach programs, and online resources can all play a role in fostering a greater appreciation for the scientific method and the process of evidence-based reasoning. Equally important is the need to address the underlying factors that contribute to public distrust in authority and scientific institutions. This includes promoting transparency in government and corporate practices, ensuring that scientific research is conducted ethically and responsibly, and fostering open and respectful dialogue between experts and the public. The media also has a crucial role to play in promoting responsible reporting on scientific issues, avoiding sensationalism, and providing context and balanced perspectives. Journalists have a responsibility to accurately convey scientific findings, highlight areas of uncertainty, and avoid amplifying misinformation or unsubstantiated claims. Ultimately, addressing the chemtrail conspiracy and other forms of misinformation requires a collective effort, one that involves scientists, educators, policymakers, journalists, and the public, working together to create a more informed, discerning, and critically engaged society. Section 1. the enduring allure of conspiracy balancing skepticism with critical thinking. The chemtrail conspiracy endures, tapping into our fears and desires for understanding in a complex world. It's easy to dismiss such beliefs, but they reflect real human emotions and psychological needs. Addressing misinformation requires nuanced conversations about belief, critical thinking, and trust. The human mind seeks patterns and explanations, especially in uncertainty. Conspiracy theories offer seductive narratives in complex times. They provide false certainty, blaming shadowy others. Skepticism and questioning are essential, but critical thinking requires balance and openness. Section 2. The Sky's the Limit. Embracing curiosity while grounding ourselves in facts. The chemtrail conspiracy highlights the need for science, critical thinking, and media literacy. We must distinguish fact from fiction in our information-rich age. Science education equips us to navigate this landscape. Emphasizing observation, experimentation, and evidence-based reasoning is key. Cultivating critical thinking encourages curiosity and values evidence. We must evaluate sources, identify fallacies, and engage in respectful dialogue. The media must promote accurate and responsible reporting. Sensationalized headlines and misleading imagery spread misinformation. Addressing misinformation requires a collective effort. By embracing curiosity and grounding ourselves in facts, we foster a world driven by a genuine desire to understand.